The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe. This is the United Podcast Network.
Welcome to Conor Commentary, a hilarious take on news, politics, sports, and current events. It's time to buckle up. Here's Conor.
All right, we are back, guys, and we are back to the regular time. It is Wednesday night at 5, which we typically do it, but I can't remember the last time we actually did it Wednesday at 5.
It's been a while.
It's been a few weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks we did it Monday, 3 weeks in a row.
Yep.
Going all the way back to when JD from 103.3 came on to you and I, which we're doing, Ed and I again, if anyone's been watching social media. We got to discuss the Patriots and the unfortunate events that transpired on Saturday night at Gillette Stadium. But now we're back. Wednesday at 5 it will be again, right?
Yeah, this is a sad show then.
It is going to be a sad show. I said we might have to yell about some things, but it's been a while. I feel like it was only 4 or 5 nights ago, right? So it was Saturday night, now it's Wednesday night. But I feel like it was a month ago at this point. I'm kind of already like, that's hindsight. I'm already ready for 2020.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Moving on, figuring it out, you know.
I'm not even sure how much more football I'll watch this year, to be honest.
Right, it's just not going to be the same.
No.
Well, when's the last time we had to watch the playoffs without the Patriots really being in it all the way down to the end?
Yeah.
The past 3 years they went to the Super Bowl, and even going back prior.
I thought it was almost 10 years they were in the AFC Championship.
I think it might have been. Yeah. It was 10 years since they played in the wild card game.
Right.
So I think that's the last time they didn't make the AFC Championship. So I think they've actually gone 9 years in a row making the AFC Championship.
Yeah, it's a good run.
Yeah, it's a great run. And I think it's going to continue. We'll see. We'll get into that. Also, Ed came through with the Sky Bars today.
Right, because they came up, I think someone was asking on one of the questions, right?
Yep, people were asking, the best candy from your childhood, and you said Sky Bar. And I know my father said he tried to find them after listening to the show out at that place, and you said Sudbury. You were able to get them, so we have to try them, see if they're as good as you said they were.
And, the Sky Bar originated in 1938.
Did it?
Yes, at the New England Confectionery Company, Necco.
Yep.
The makers of Necco wafers.
But you're saying this one isn't as good as the original?
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Necco went out of business.
Yep.
So production stopped on the original Sky Bar in 2018.
Okay.
And a company down in Sudbury, out of a store called Duck Soup.
Duck Soup?
Yep.
Is it a Chinese food place?
No.
Okay.
They bought the rights to manufacture the Sky Bar.
All right. That was a wise decision, probably, right?
It seems that way because while they are theoretically available online, they have not been able to meet demand.
That's always a good thing when you're selling more than you can possibly come up with.
Yeah, so I had to drive to Sudbury. I don't spend a lot of time in Sudbury.
Was it worth the drive?
I don't know. You be the judge.
I don't know. Let's try it. This piece, you said it was caramel, and then what's the other stuff? Vanilla?
It's right on the front there. There's a little key. You'll either have fudge or caramel in that first.
Oh, this is caramel, and it's good.
Yeah, the caramel is very good. I mean, it's on the sweet side for the fillings.
Yeah.
But, one big difference is the quality of chocolate in this is a lot better than your off-the-shelf big manufacturer chocolate.
That's really good chocolate. That's good caramel, but I like caramel, so I'm easy to please when it comes to caramel. Oh, this one's the one in the middle. You said you don't like the vanilla?
Well, I had issues with it.
It doesn't taste like vanilla.
It doesn't taste at all like vanilla, and I thought it had a little bit of a funky aftertaste.
I'm going to completely agree.
So
because there are other things that are like, I'm trying to think of something to compare it to that has vanilla in it, and this doesn't taste like it would be vanilla. It tastes, I don't know, a little gluey.
It's problematic.
It is. The caramel's really good, though.
Well, I think you may enjoy the fudge one.
Mm-hmm.
That's down the other end.
Oh, I'm eating that now, and that's good as well. This is a good selection, Ed.
Well, and the beauty of the Sky Bar is it's great for people who are indecisive.
That's very true.
I don't know what I want. Well, here's 4 things. Pick one.
This is the first time I've ever had a Sky Bar in my life.
It's very good, isn't it?
It is very good. You're right. The chocolate is very good. Skybar, if you're watching, I'm open to advertisements. Out in Sudbury, we're here, Salem, New Hampshire, live every Wednesday at 5.
Except when we record on Monday.
Yeah, except for the other 6 times when we weren't live on Wednesdays at 5. Well, thank you. That was good.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I gave you one. You mentioned your dad was looking for one.
I will. I'll take it to him.
All right.
He heard on the show that you gave it such a rave review. He wanted to find them so we could eat them on the show.
He's probably had them.
I think he may have. Yeah. You guys are the same age bracket. I think you guys are like the same age.
Yeah, I'm about 100.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We're old people.
But you're looking good. You're a vibrant 100.
Oh, good.
Remember, JD said you were a young, vibrant version of Michael Gorman, it was.
Is that who it was?
That's who it was. I looked it up. I saw a little bit of resemblance.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can look him up there. Michael Gorman was his name from the Celtics. So it wasn't totally off. But all right, we gotta do the troll of the week. We gotta do my mom's picks. My mom was right. She picked Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw that. You and I talk after the show all the time. We talk about the Patriots all the time, and
right.
Try to be optimistic, but I think we both knew the offense just did not have the firepower this year to get it done.
No, I mean,
if we were being honest,
And listen, I think the offense probably, not only didn't they improve, they may have deteriorated.
I
mean, they actually had to play better defenses is what happened.
Right.
And I think as a result of that, our defense spent too much time on the field.
Oh, absolutely.
He can't fault that. I mean, basically, 14 points.
I know.
Well,
and I thought
you're doing your job if you hold them to 14.
They completely did. And I was complaining about them on Twitter the other day, saying that they couldn't stop them at the end of the game to save it. But they let up 14 points. What do you want from them? You know what I mean?
They were probably exhausted.
They had to have been. They were on the field the whole game because the Patriots were just 3 and outs and they wouldn't move the ball. They couldn't execute in the red zone at all.
Well, and Tennessee was grinding it out on the ground.
Yeah, Derrick Henry was just a savage.
Yeah.
He's just a workhorse, that guy. They just fed him the ball.
Yeah, what are you going to do with a superhuman beast?
Right, exactly. They could barely slow him down, never mind stop him.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the end of the day, they still only let up 14 points. If you only let up 14 points, you have to win. You have to win. Yeah. To score 13 points and expect to win is just insane. You can't expect it at an NFL level.
And it ended on such a sad note.
It did.
I got to be honest with you. I was already in my car.
Were you?
Yeah, I heard that part on the radio.
Yeah. And you know what? Before that, they had the 3rd and 8, and I thought they might stop them, and then they'd get the ball back, and maybe Brady could go down. They'd kick a field goal, and they'd win the game. It would be the typical Tom Brady heroics. But
we haven't seen much of that this year.
We haven't. No. And even before that, I think it was like 2nd and 6 when he threw it to Edelman. Edelman dropped the ball. It could have been a first down. I was thinking the same thing.
That was a big drop.
That was a big drop. And
I was screaming at the TV, Tom can't throw the ball in, catch it.
Right.
Giselle is right.
yeah, exactly. Where was Giselle on that one? Because, I mean, I love Julian Edelman, but that was right in the breadbasket.
I don't think he was 100% either for a long time this year.
I read it was today on Twitter. They were saying he had like a separated AC joint in his shoulder. His ribs were messed up, and he has a knee issue.
Right.
And they were saying that they're not. He still might have to have surgery. I don't know which injury he's going to have surgery on.
Is that normal wear and tear for him on the season? No, a little extra.
Yeah, that's like somebody who just beat the crap out of their car. You know what I mean? It's much more excessive. And he's 33 now. He's going to be 34, I think.
Yeah, he's not young.
He's not young in the game of football.
No.
He's not Tom Brady's age, but he's getting up there. But you know what? He's got a few more years left in him. I think Tom's going to come back. They're going to have a few more years together. And hopefully, I don't know, they'll walk out on top.
Listen, they just didn't have enough options.
They did not.
Okay, you can't replace Gronkowski.
Absolutely
but
not.
You need somebody there.
Honestly, that's the only real complaint I have with the offense because I think Bill took a couple swings at wide receiver and just missed. AB didn't work out. I think he was going on the commissioner's exempt list, and Bill knew it, and he said, this guy's a punk anyways.
I got to say, the Pats just did not have the normal level of production out of the backfield for passing.
They digressed at that position.
Yeah, because
Sony Michel took a step backwards.
And, who are you throwing the ball to coming out of the backfield?
Right.
There wasn't much of anybody.
They try and use James White, but typically then they'd see James White in there and they'd know it would be a pass
Right.
because James White would get 3 carries a game.
Yep.
So it was very difficult. They saw Sony Michel, they'd play the run. They saw James White, they'd worry about the pass.
I guess Burkhead would catch a pass now and then.
Burkhead was solid because he did a little bit of both, but he's just not like a top back who's really going to produce for you.
Right. And then finally they get a screen to work. Okay, let's just go with that for the rest of the game.
Right.
It only works for so long.
Oh, yeah. It worked on the first drive. They looked good coming out of the gate on offense because the first drive they got the field goal. The second drive they scored a touchdown in that Julian Edelman end around.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, the offense looks good. This is going to be a good game. Like I'm excited. And they didn't score a single point. And after like halfway through the second quarter, they didn't score another point again.
No.
And if they did, they would have won.
Yeah.
Because it ended up being 20-14 or 20-13, excuse me. But
it was really
Brady wouldn't have thrown that pick six if they were in the lead.
Yeah, it was a 14-13.
It was a 14-13 game, exactly.
But if that's how Brady goes out, that's not a good way to do it.
No, I said that the next day. I'm like, this can't be it.
And
for
then
him.
the week before, another pick six.
I know. That was really bad with Eric, and of course it was Eric Rowe.
Yeah.
Who stunk for us in the Super Bowl versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
So then, of course, he revenges it and makes the pick six. That stunk a lot too as well.
Oh well, what do you get for a troll?
We got a troll. Well, we got somebody I was talking to, a guy William Bendenson. He says he's the best Patriots coverage in the business.
Really?
That's how he talks too. And he said that Tom Brady is going to retire. So we got into a little bit of a tiff on Twitter. I was telling him he's absolutely not going to retire, and that's totally incorrect. I messaged him probably like 4 or 5 hours ago today to ask him if he still thought Tom was going to retire after that Instagram post. He never responded. So I just wanted to remind him because he said, let's see, he has done multiple interviews with Tom Brady and he knows him and that he thinks he's going to retire. And I was like, Tom said, like, it was before the game, they asked him the chance of retiring. He said, highly unlikely.
Right.
They asked him, like, in the middle of the season, he's like, I still want to play till I'm 45. I mean, he's never really come off the I want to play till I'm 45 thing.
No.
I think the only thing this year is he going to come back to the Patriots, which I think he is. Robert Kraft basically said if he wants to come back, he can come back. That's how he kind of left it the other day.
But I don't think anyone believes Belichick wants him back.
I don't know what Belichick wants these days.
If you're a businessman,
which Bill Belichick is the ultimate businessman,
or is Robert Kraft? Because if you got to pick one of the two of those,
right?
Do you want to keep the business going?
Right.
Well, if you want to keep the business going, Belichick's more valuable than Brady at this juncture.
It's crazy because they're both getting to the point where I think they could even retire together. I'm hoping as a Patriots fan, they'll do like 2 or 3 more years together. Because Bill's what, like 66, I think?
Right. So,
and he's said in the past, I don't know if he's changing his mind, that he didn't want to coach until his 70s.
So you'd like to see them walk hand in hand
out
of Gillette Stadium?
Not out of Gillette Stadium, out of wherever the Super Bowl is being played that year.
Nice.
I'm hoping that they can just reconstruct it and just go all out for a 3-year plan. And then I think we're due to suck after that, to be honest with you. I think we deserve.
Overdue.
It's long overdue. We deserve to be the Jets.
Yeah.
Like, I hope we aren't, but it's been so dominant for so long. It's just been year after year after year of nothing but dominance.
And I got to tell you, there's too many spoiled fans in New
There
England.
are way too many spoiled fans. Absolutely.
All of a sudden, everyone's a football expert.
Right. And now that they lost the game, after they lost Miami was when people really started to turn. And we still tried to have faith. It was tough this year because you knew, like, it's not even being a homer, just deep down they just didn't have it on offense. It was just the eye test. Brady had no one to throw to. Edelman was injured.
I knew that the first time they saw a legitimate team.
Right.
You sort of wondered as they ran over the weakest part of the league.
Right. They ran rampant on them in the beginning.
Sure.
But it was the weakest part of the league.
Oh, yeah. And so you sort of knew a day of reckoning was coming. And
right.
After you watched them against a couple of quality opponents, you knew.
After you watched them against the Ravens,
yeah,
you knew that something was going to be off.
And then you go back to your stockpile of hope. Okay, in other years,
right?
Oh well, yeah, they got wasted by KC, and then they got their shit together. And this year, they never got their shit together.
They never did, and they just didn't have the personnel to do it.
No.
I mean, it was tough. We'll get into all that. I'll give my mom's picks real quick. There's only 4 games left.
Oh, all
so
right.
there's not too many, and 2 of
Should
them are
I bet on
automatic.
these?
At this point, probably. I mean, she predicted that the Titans were going to beat the Patriots, so not many people were predicting that. I think the Patriots were given at least 5, and I thought that they would cover the spread. I thought that they'd win the game, they'd cover the spread, and that was absolutely not the case. But my mom is going to take San Francisco to beat Minnesota. She's going to take Baltimore to beat Tennessee. She's going to take Kansas City to beat Houston. And she is going to take Green Bay to beat Seattle. So it looks like we got a Green Bay, San Francisco NFC Championship and a Baltimore, Kansas City AFC Championship, if that's right, which probably seems pretty accurate at this point. Those are probably the 4 best teams left.
Yeah.
Minnesota with a shocking upset, though.
Yeah. It was a shocker.
I
watched the end of that one.
Yeah.
But I guess then if we're going Baltimore, KC, I got to root for KC in that one.
Somebody asked me, so they asked me who I thought would win the Super Bowl and who I thought the MVP of the Super Bowl would be. And I was saying I think Kansas City's going to win the Super Bowl, and it's going to be Patrick Mahomes.
My homeboy?
My homeboy. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I don't think the Ravens will stack up as well against them because they can score 1,000,000 points, and then it's going to be hard for Lamar Jackson to run.
Yep.
So if they start scoring points, they're going to have to get into a thing where they're going to have to keep scoring to keep up with them.
Yep.
And the Ravens secondary isn't great.
They definitely had some of the weaknesses exposed over time.
Right. And you know what? It's just so hard to stop Kansas City once they get rolling.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is great. Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce's phenomenal. They got Damian Williams.
So you going KC?
I'm going
for
KC.
The Super Bowl,
I'm going KC. I'm going on the record that I think that they will win the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP. Good luck to him. I think his girlfriend's super annoying on the internet, but I hope he wins regardless.
I'm going to go on record as saying I don't give a flying fuck who
Okay,
wins
I like
the Super
that.
Bowl.
Honestly, I don't really care anymore either.
No.
We're so spoiled that if the Patriots aren't in it, I'm like,
I'm
whatever.
out. Tap out.
Tap out. I won't be excited for the Super Bowl.
Let's get to the draft.
Now, yeah, exactly. Let's get to the draft. Let's do free agency. Let's get ready for next season.
Yeah.
But we're so spoiled. We expect the Patriots to be in the Super Bowl.
Right.
We expect it to be the most exciting game, and then when they're not there, it's like, whatever.
The reset is coming.
Right.
Where you're not sure if they're going to win week to week.
Oh, undoubtedly it's coming because even if Brady comes back, which I think he will, it's going to be for 3 years absolute maximum.
Right.
I think probably 2 years.
Yep.
So I think we have 2 years left, and then from there, I don't who are they going to go to? I honestly have no idea. They're going to have to go to the draft.
See,
I don't think it's going to be Jared Stidham. So
No.
I don't. Who is it going to be 3 years from now?
And I've been a fan for a long time, and I remember the bad old days where, oh, sorry, it's not on local TV. They didn't sell it
Right,
out.
right, because they wouldn't sell at the stadium, and then they blacked the game out, right?
Right, and people sort of forget that Bledsoe basically saved and built the franchise.
He did. He took them to the Super Bowl.
And after they got him signed,
right,
the stadium started filling up again. So
was he the first overall pick? He was a first round pick. I know that.
He was a first round.
He was like a big pick, and he was going to be
I don't know if the Patriots were bad enough to get
He was good, though, right?
Yeah.
I don't really remember him. I was 10 years old when Tom Brady came in.
Yeah, I mean...
So for the past 17, 18 years, all we've seen is winning.
Yeah, it says Bledsoe was drafted first overall in 1993 NFL draft by the New England Patriots.
And hey, he brought them to a Super Bowl.
Right.
He brought them to a Super Bowl, so he must have been on...
There hadn't been much cause for hope up to that point.
Right, prior to that. And now look at it. But yeah, I agree. Once it's done, it's like...
There was that fiasco with the Bears, but I don't even like to talk about that.
Why? What happened with them?
The Super Bowl.
Oh, yes. Yes. That was like... Was that the 85 Bears?
Yeah.
When they had like the best defense in the world?
Yeah.
And they got murdered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents actually got tickets to that game and went to it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, New Orleans. Yeah. They got smoked, huh?
Oh, it was dismal.
Right. Because at least they gave the Packers a game in like 97 or whatever it was, right?
Right, but that was not a good look for the Patriots that year.
Right. They made it to the Super Bowl, but yeah, everyone talks about the 85 Bears. They're like legendary.
Yeah, that was Super Bowl 20,
Wow. Oh my goodness.
46-10.
46-10. Wow, that's abysmal.
Yeah, Coach Mike
Yeah, it was
Ditka
Mike Ditka, right?
against Raymond Berry.
Really?
And they had their T-shirts, "Bury the Bears."
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, but they
I
didn't.
remember when they played the. They had everything. They had Squish the Cheese, I think it was, versus the Packers.
Squish the Fish
Squish the
they had with
Fish.
the Dolphins.
They had Skin the Cats versus the
Right.
the Panthers in 2003. I forget what it was versus the Rams. There's been so many of them. Now it's I don't know.
Now they don't.
Now they don't even do
They
them.
didn't really need that stuff because
Right.
they had a legit team.
Now it's just like, do your job, win the game.
It's time to win. Yeah, but now we're gonna have to get these crazy T-shirts again.
I
'cause
know. We got to get everyone
might
excited
not be
again.
winning the games.
Honestly, I have a gut feeling that I think that they're going to win the Super Bowl again. I really do. That they'll get one more. Brady will retire with 7 rings. I think after that, it might be a drought. It will be like people telling like
decades.
The Patriots haven't gone to the Super Bowl in 20 years.
Yeah.
Because after they're gone, I don't really have any expectations.
No.
Because Belichick doesn't have many years left either.
No.
There's no way he has 5 years left because then he'll be like 72.
Right.
Although hopefully his son will take over and be as good as he is. But I don't know. I don't know either.
We don't know anything about Steve Belichick.
We don't.
He could be a dunce.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know.
Bill Dope slaps him at the dinner table.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Well, I heard from a source. My friend was sitting front row at the 50-yard line. He said Bill was screaming at his son during the game over something. So I don't know. He messed something up out there. All right, let's see. They get a question in. It's for both of us here.
All right.
It's from Pat's Chat at 24/7. It's my friend Tony, and he was asking us. We're talking about free agency. Danny Amendola is going to be a free agent at the age of 35. Would you take him back?
I have no use for him.
No.
No.
I think if we need like a low end person, I mean, he's not going to play much at this point, but like a 4th or a 5 guy, I'd take him.
If we need a punt return.
Yeah, something, because a couple of years ago, he would come alive in the playoffs. Like all year, he'd be injured. He wouldn't really get in there. He wouldn't do much. Playoffs would come around, and all of a sudden, he'd be playoff Danny. Did you see that Did you watch the documentary Tom vs. Time?
No.
It was Brady's documentary on Facebook. It was 2 years ago when they played the Eagles in the Super Bowl.
I thought it was probably going to be a Tom Brady propaganda film about his crazy eating habits.
It was a little bit of that, but it was they did some inside stuff about the team, and they did a lot of like what he does with his trainer and all that type of stuff. But during it, after they played Jacksonville in the AFC Championship, and Gronk took that shot to the head and got a concussion.
Oh, yeah.
So he was calling Gronk on the phone from his car, and they were talking about how good Danny Amendola does in the playoffs, and they were calling him Playoff Danny, like when they were talking to each other. It was funny. It was cool to see that stuff up
like
close.
a Reggie Jackson, Mr. October thing.
Was that? Yes.
Yeah.
They come alive when it's important. David Ortiz.
Yeah.
Well, David Ortiz is on a historic level.
That's true.
He's just a step below Tom Brady in the Boston legacy area.
Yep.
He's hovered around maybe a little bit higher than Rob Gronkowski. all the clutch things that guy did, that was astronomical as well.
Well, maybe when Belichick's done, we can get Vrabel because he seems to know the playbook for how to screw with the other team.
2-0 versus us, and then he took a chapter right out of Bill's playbook.
I actually liked.
I liked it too. I thought it was funny. I was like, we just did this.
To see the look on Belichick's face.
Belichick was bullshit.
Oh yeah.
And the funny thing is, Belichick just did that. What team did he do that to? It was like the Bengals or somebody maybe, where he took like 3 penalties in a row to just milk the clock. And at that point, I was hoping that was going to help us. So I'm like, we're getting the ball back with 4 minutes left. If we can go down there, milk the clock, and kick a game-winning field goal, he's going to regret this. But he must have thought, that the Patriots offense stunk so bad that just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think he was taking his chances and saying, we're going to get the ball back and we're going to run the clock out. And he was right.
Seemed to work out for him.
It did. It did. And I was just looking at free agents for 2020, just looking forward to the future. And it's pretty slim out there at wide receiver, man. They got Amari Cooper, who I don't think is going to hit the open market.
Yeah.
I think Dallas will re-sign him, so I don't think we'll even have an opportunity to take a crack at him. From there, it's A.J. Green, who's getting older, and he's relatively injury prone.
Yeah.
He took the entire last season off, though. This past season, he didn't play a
So
game.
he should be well rested.
He should be extremely well rested. He had an ankle surgery in July that they said was like an 8-week injury, and he did not play the entire season. I think he was kind of like, oh yeah, it's swollen, doesn't feel good. He didn't want to come back for the 0-9 Bengals and play when he's on a free agent year. He's waiting. So
yeah, I mean,
hopefully he'll be rested.
Of course, if you don't play, then what's your value?
Exactly.
So
that was a pretty big risk by him. I thought the same thing. I thought he was going to come back later in the season, have like 4 really good games, and then
that
be
would
like,
be
look
the
what I just
move.
did. Yeah. So I thought it was kind of bizarre, unless he was injured. But I
know, but now
it
now
seemed
there's
like
sort
he
of a
was
question.
milking it.
Yeah, can he even play?
Yeah, or does he want to play?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the year, it seemed like he absolutely did not want to play. He was just waiting. He'll hit free agency and try and make his money, which I'm sure someone will still pay him. We'll see. But after that, it drops off significantly. From there, we go down to like Emmanuel Sanders, Robbie Anderson from the Jets. I don't know.
Yeah.
Although tight end, they got to do something at tight end because I think Ben Watson's retiring, and God bless him. He was a great guy. I love Ben Watson, but he's done. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it anymore.
No.
He was just Belichick called him and asked him if he wanted to come out of retirement and play, and he did. But,
yeah, sure. I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt Lacoste is just not good at his job.
No.
He was not good blocking. He couldn't really get opened. He didn't catch the ball.
Right. And Gronk's down to about 150 pounds now.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, the only
He
thing
has a beer belly.
The only thing Gronk's spiking is Lego heads on TV. I don't foresee him coming back at all. He's need to put on about 40 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
Because
he's got to get on it today.
Yeah, literally. He would need to start today if he wants to come back for the season at this point. But Austin Hooper, Hunter Henry, and Eric Ebron are all free agents at tight end. So I'm hoping they'll go after one of those 3 guys. Austin Hooper had a great year. Hunter Henry, if he's healthy, is really good. And I think Eric Ebron would be great. If he can stay healthy, I think he'd be a great fit for New England.
Yeah, why not, huh?
Why not? We need somebody to play tight end, Ed.
What's your thoughts on the coaching staff? They're moving quick.
They are moving quick. I don't know what's going to happen to Josh McDaniels.
Well,
I know you hate him, so I don't mind if he moves on.
That Joe Judge thing was just bizarre.
It was bizarre, yeah.
We need your special teams coach to be our head coach.
Right. And he was a special teams.
I'm sure he's a good
receiver,
guy,
yeah.
but it just seemed out of the blue.
It sounds like something the Giants would do.
Right.
They sign a special teams coach as their head coach, who's never even been like a offensive defensive coordinator.
Yep.
So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they know something we don't know.
I mean, the only wild card with McDaniels is, would he go somewhere that Tom Brady would want to go?
Right. I saw an absolutely bonkers scenario of somebody who wrote into, I think it was the guy from the Globe, Ben Volen, with this absurd thing where he was like, McDaniels is going to go to the Browns. Tom Brady's going to sign with the Browns. Rob Gronkowski's going to come out of retirement. Sony Michel's going to get traded. Jamie Collins is going to re-sign with them, and they're going to recreate the Patriots on the Browns, and then come back and beat the Patriots. I was like, I gotta find the whatever weed this guy is smoking. It was in depth. There was like 8 things happening, like multi trades. So it was wild, but. I think maybe he's going to go to the Browns. If not, I think at this point he just stays.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone can feel confident. Okay, you're hired. Okay, I'm coming.
Right.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. After he did that to the Colts.
That seems like it would put a little bit of a coaching stench on you.
Right, yeah. For him, you got to get the signature right here, right now.
Yeah, and let's not forget.
For him, he needs to leave a deposit on a credit card or something.
He was phenomenally unsuccessful in Denver.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
almost every coach that has left to go on to be a head coach from New England has been terrible.
Right, because I had a buddy in Denver who said, you people sent him here to sabotage our whole football program, and then he just went back to work for you.
And then he left, yeah. and then Andrew Luck threw in the towel on him, and they had to go with Jacoby Brissett. They've had some poor luck out there in Indianapolis.
They sure have. They had some good years.
They did, yeah, with Peyton Manning. They had a couple good years, but we just beat the bag out of Andrew Luck every time in the playoffs.
Right.
He was like our whipping boy. It was bad.
You don't think John Elway is going to say, let me get an old quarterback in here year, maybe get a Super Bowl.
That's what he likes to do.
Yeah, I don't know if they got enough to interest Brady.
Right. All right. No, I think Brady's going to I think he's going to stay. I think he wants to end it in New England. I think Kraft wants him to end it in New England. I have no idea what Belichick feels, but I think
he doesn't.
You don't think so? No.
No.
I have no idea what Belichick's plan is. I think probably Belichick did want to keep Jimmy Garoppolo, but now he's not there. So what are you going to do? You'd either have to draft somebody or you'd have to play Jarrett Stidham.
Right. And
so I think it's Brady or bust.
Stidham threw a pick six, and that was the end of his career.
He was never allowed to play again.
I thought that was a little harsh.
Right, because they took Tom Brady out because they were winning by so many points. Right. Like, we'll let Stidham throw a couple passes. He threw a pick six. Belichick's like, you're never playing again.
Oh, although Stidham looked good preseason, but then again, many people do.
Preseason's very hard to judge because sometimes the people that are out there playing,
well, it's not the real players.
There aren't even NFL players out there because the people who get cut and never even make the team.
Listen, they're working on new defenses. Yeah, it doesn't have much meaning.
It's like a scrimmage. It's like a t-ball game out there.
T-ball.
No one's like. It's funny sometimes because they're trying real hard to make the team, but it's just so much sloppier than a real NFL game.
Like a backyard Nerf football game.
Yeah, exactly. They're all just throwing the ball around. They go for two half the time. There's a bunch of crazy things. All right, Ed, what do you think? What else do we have to talk about before we wrap it up?
About these Patriots?
Yeah. Or a Sky Bar. Any other candy comments?
No.
What do you give the Sky Bar 1 through 10 on a pizza review scale here?
Well, listen, the vanilla's weak, but
it is weak. Yeah. The caramel was very good.
Yeah, the vanilla probably always was weak, although I recall not liking the fudge, and that's good in
the
this
fudge was
one.
good. I like the fudge.
I might go an 8 on that, but just the quality of the chocolate is so much better than, your typical Hershey's stuff.
Right.
Because I'm not a Hershey's fan.
I'm not either.
It's got the consistency of candle wax, So.
Maybe that's actually like a Yankee Candle flavor. It wouldn't surprise me. Hershey Kiss, they have all that type of stuff. I'll give it a 7.7.
All right, I like it. That's a lucky number.
77, yeah, 777.
And then you can report back next week about how your dad may have liked it.
I will. I'll get him a 1 through 10 score.
It's critical.
And we'll see. It is critical. All right, Patriots 2020. We got a lot to look forward to. We'll continue to cover it over the next few weeks, months, years, until Tom Brady's gone or I pass out up here. All right, see you guys next week.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.